you know I got her. And she look good, don't she? On top of that, she good for me. Made me wanna say, even though I got plenty, if I'm down to my last penny, I still got her. Still got her. I still got her.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. All that and more coming up next.
The Santa Ana wind so prevalent this time of year, they rolled through and they left us with bright, clear skies here in Los Angeles, California. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
And off we go from SoFi Stadium. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Yeah, a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Swift. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal will feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the first down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now Stafford, a quick throw there is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now Stafford. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Give that sack to Nakobe Dean.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
$3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll run right here with Swift. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here is 3rd and 5. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by a couple of yards as they get 5 there on 4th and 3. Swift going to try up the middle. And some room to roam now. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 82 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Hurts. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Throwing is Hurts. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now a give right side Swift. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
L.A. readies for its next possession.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Cup.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick-6.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
On third down, here's Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
And he fields it cleanly. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and 10. They go play action with Hurts. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 12-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Well, the Rams going to take over late in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Hassan Reddick, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On first down, it's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just... On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And they string that play out nicely. He's stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Forced out to his left.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Now the Rams offense getting the football back. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. 2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw, Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5.
To the air again, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. To the right side and complete to Atwell. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Maher is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
99 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
2nd down and a yard. From the gun, here's Swift.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps, because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more